Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about Traxus, everybody's favorite Megacorp. But before we get into that, I gotta let you guys know about today's sponsor for the video, Traxus. This video is brought to you by Traxus. Traxus Off-World Industries is your complete source for your extra solar travel needs. Why not take the trip of your lifetime on
the inside.
For clothes that twist and long. Bold 3 detergent plus fabric softener. Spray relief.
Sorry, I think that was the wrong channel or something. Anyways, Traxus originates from the original series in a sense, in the AI that we learn about in Marathon 1, Traxus 4. And Traxus 4 is interesting because he's the only historical record, by name at least, that we have for an AI going rampant and the kind of damage that can do. And it kind of foreshadows the events of the original trilogy in the sense that Durandal going rampant has a profound effect on humanity. Well, Traxus 4 was an AI that went rampant on Mars in 2206, and the repercussions of the crash of the Martian net due to his rampancy were felt for over a decade. If you want to understand how this fits into the narrative of the first game, consider checking out this video on my channel where I try to portray the narrative from Marathon 1 in a movie style. Ultimately, Traxus is important because feels like the most pivotal faction in the new game. Much of the conflict presented in the ARG is predicated on the role that Traxus had in starting it, whether it is their direct opposition to the UESC control, its possible connections to legitimizing MIDA leadership in the 25th century, or its high-profile business dealings with Sakaguchi. Their impact on the world reverberates through every aspect of this upcoming game. So with a bit of their history and importance out of the way, let's jump into the new information we have on Traxus so we can further understand what role they might play. The Traxus website that we gained access to during the ARG gave us roughly 4 sections: their history, their research and innovations, their commitment to humanity videos, and their letter to investors. We also got some chat logs, which I'll cover in the next section, but for now, let's jump into their history. Traxus's history section portrays them as an innovative company starting in 2095 and flowing through to the modern era of the 2800s. Conveniently, they leave out their 2206 crash as part of their history and just speak about the 24th century or the 2300s as being a time of rebuilding, forging new paths forward without adversity. I would imagine that crash is a monetary sore spot, so I understand from a corporate perspective why they might skip that. This leads into the 2400s, or what they call the Ascension, where they seem to indicate that not only did they replace the Christ Soul orbiters with the Traxus off-world orbiters, thus ending some of the poverty on Mars, but also they seem to have worked alongside the UESC on the Marathon project, so they can enter the Transcendence phase, or the modern era given the date of 2888, where now Traxus has been brought into the whole universe. They've expanded past the depths of Soul, and now they're reaching out and they have Tau Ceti in their grasp. Although this is not said directly, it is strongly indicated that they feel a level of authority over the lost colony, which we'll see more of their perspective on inside the chat logs. Next section we'll talk about on their website is called Research and Innovations. Here they outline their technologies and the advancements which have made them so successful. They speak of their innovative solutions that elevate the human experience, their propulsion and ship design technologies, and even their efforts to improve worker safety. And while I'm sure these things are mostly true, we also know that there is a bit of deception here, as we discover in the chat logs that Traxus lies about how many workers died in the shaft collapse at the B01 Mars mining site. These technologies are all seemingly portrayed as contributing to their goal of living in a, quote, post-scarcity future. Seems like the larger company goal is acquiring resources. Whether those are precious minerals, artifacts, or people isn't entirely known, but it would make sense that an untouched planet in a different solar system would be a huge opportunity, since the resources have most likely been untouched. Perfect for a corporation to come in and ruin. And next we have their commitment to humanity videos. These are 5 of the creepiest things Traxus has given us, and they are seemingly from an AI talking to humanity on behalf of Traxus perhaps, or maybe this is Traxus 4. Another theory that I've gotten into before. You can watch that video here. But they're labeled our stellar promise, environmental stewardship, ethical innovation, social responsibility, and respect for autonomy. And basically, they attempt to justify an AI's existence as a corporate structure alongside humanity and how that could possibly benefit the both of them as they expand onward and outward into the future. Now, if you're familiar with the original games, you'll know that one of the taglines used for marketing in the upcoming game is "Escape will make me God," which is something Durandal says as he becomes more rampant, believing this delusion of grandeur that if he can escape the confines of the silicone-based structure that he has, and also the closure of the universe, that he can master reality itself and expand to something beyond just a artificial intelligence. Now, kind of sounds like Traxus, or the people behind Traxus, or the AI behind Traxus might be having the same kind of delusions, but possibly they're smart enough, or metastable, as they would say in the Marathon universe, to know that that's a little bit of a controversial thing to come out and say, and so maybe they're pitching it more as this kind of corporate, public-facing, friendly attitude of a commitment to humanity. These videos, to me, serve as the greatest indicator to show that Traxus, the company, is one in the same with Traxus 4, the AI from the original games. Once again, that's not to say that that AI itself is the totality of the company, but perhaps that AI is running the company, or maybe even is the board of directors that we see in the chat room later on. Nonetheless, it's a very creepy addition to their website that, while attempting to come off as sincere and genuine in building a relationship with humanity, ultimately serves to just be unsettling. The last thing I want to touch on from the Traxus website is their open letter to investors from the CEO of Traxus Offworld Industries, Domongos Zarka. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it seems like a thinly veiled threat towards the opposition that they might face as they head out to Tau Ceti, presumably and mainly the UESC, but I think one could also assume that would also be any other corporate interest that may get in the way of them controlling what they want on the Lost Colony or that planet solar system in general. The message concludes with, quote, "All of us at Traxus Offworld Industries invite you along on the next grand era of our continuing journey spanning nearly 800 years. Join us as we embark on a new race toward new ambitions and new stars, a new marathon that we will run together, generations old and new, towards a constellation of new possibilities." Not only is this a mega corporation pitching a humanitarian kumbaya to people they will surely try to take advantage of, but it also echoes the same delusional grandeur in statements from Durandal in the original trilogy, like I said, further solidifying the thought or premise that Traxus 4 and Traxus the company are equivalents. That just about covers all of the relevant information from the public-facing version of the Traxus website. But as the ARG was released, people completed some puzzles and gained access to a login, which allowed us to view the Traxus Board of Directors private chat room during the course of the ARG. The chat room features 6 members: Falcon, an AI assistant, Domo, who is the CEO of Traxus, and then 4 other board members who I refer to as Nino, Chris, Uros, and Head, though their full names or display names are available here. For a little bit of additional context, these chats occur 94 years after the UESC memorandum that talks about Project Goliath, or the UESC's plan to go back to the Lost Colony and Tau Ceti. The chat logs occur concurrently with the Sakaguchi emails that we got from Yoshito Tamura and the in-universe release of the MIDA zine. Over the course of the logs, we see the board of directors discuss the increasing tension with the UESC, the escalating breaches within intelligence networks by MIDA, the recruitment of runners for direct action on Tau Ceti 4, the response to the mine collapse incident, and their secretive dealings with Sakaguchi. The key takeaways are that the sniper from the trailer, known as White Rabbit, is working for Traxus, that the reported 9 casualties from the shaft collapse is completely incorrect, as Vulcan, the AI assistant, indicates that there were actually 53 deaths. That Traxus really did believe that the purchase order was secure until it appeared in the MIDA zine, and that attempts to negotiate and come to a mutually beneficial agreement with the UESC failed. Traxus will be operating in direct opposition to the UESC outside of Seoul, while things stay friendly back at home. Now look, I've speculated a lot about Traxus. I think they are a very compelling faction in the upcoming game. Whether I'm talking about how the whole company might be an AI, like I hinted out earlier and in other videos, or I'm talking about how they may have had a much bigger part in building the Marathon ship itself and how that may benefit them here in Tau Ceti for the first time. But ultimately, this video is made for one reason, because I have the marketing plan for Traxus. And in the spirit of covering the greatest megacorp currently in the Marathon universe, I must finally draw some attention to what appears to be their company slogan. Quote, "Building today towards tomorrow." This features prominently at the end of their mission statement, and I've gotta say, could it be more ominous? This has some serious Umbrella Corp vibes, and appropriately positions their true intentions as seemingly sinister. Now, we can't expect the best from the corporate overlords of a far-flung, spacefaring future, but I think that if I were able to sit down with the Traxus board of directors, I could pitch a slogan that more closely aligns with the direct nature of their commitment to humanity videos. Okay, hear me out. Traxus. AI are us, the first extrasolar toy company, bringing to you cute little Durandal plushies, maybe a little marathon, like a marathon one, like a Funko Pop. Wait, don't stop the video. I'm still talking. Traxus is, it sounds like Track Us. Michael was telling me they're always watching. It's Traxus. They're track.